the reason why I'm never going to be selling all of my VET, which by the way is the primary native token of the VeChain platform, again, the reason for that is because if we take a look back in history, we've seen time and time again, many projects out there, they do very well during a fully fledged bull run, but then when there's a bear market, when the price drops, it doesn't reach the point in which it was before. Like for instance, you take a look at Cardano's native token called ADA. At one point, the price was hovering around 3 cents. Everyone thought it was caca. It pumped, obviously, in 2021, had a big pullback. And is the price ever at 3 cents again? No. I don't think it's ever going to reach that ever in history, hypothetically speaking. You also take a look at Bitcoin. Believe it or not, Bitcoin at one point was at the price of $1. Is it ever going to reach that price ever again, let alone like $1,000? No, I don't think so. So when it comes to VET, during this bull run, if let's say it does very amazing, hypothetically, going to the price of $1, which is my prediction, not financial advice nor a guarantee, but let's say if it were to do that, I think there is going to be a major pullback. As much as I do believe in VeChain, VET, I think is going to have a big pullback, but is the pullback going to be like so terrible to the point that let's say the price is complete caca? No. I think that the prices we're seeing as of right now when it comes to VET, we could hypothetically never see it again, which is why, again, I'm never going to be selling all of my VET. Now, it'd be crazy if I didn't sell anything. Of course, that'd be ridiculous, right? But I'm never going to be selling all because the way I take a look at it is that VeChain is actually something that's very serious. Like, the way I view it is that it's a project that has tremendous longevity because if you take a look at VeChain, what is it primarily focused on? Supply chain management. And this market is often overlooked because people often focus on AI projects, on gaming projects, whatever the case may be. But when I take a look at this is a market which, in my opinion, has very underrated potential. Now, we take a look at, for instance, right, the supply chain management market size is predicted to be worth over $58 billion by 2030, according to Polaris Market Research. Now, is it the best hypothetical upside out there in terms of like, a market being massive? No. But in my opinion, the way I view it is that VeChain, it's kind of like a pioneer in this space. So the way I take a look at it is that, it has an amazing focus. Now, granted, is VeChain, going to become the biggest project out there? No, in my opinion. But again, I think it has the right focus. Now, not to mention, we have to take into consideration that both VET and VETHO is actually used on something called the VeChain Tor blockchain. Now, let's break this down because, of course, we know that VET is, the primary native token of VeChain. And when it comes to VETHO, now what is it used for, right? It's used for gas fees. Now, when you take a look at it, okay, some people may think, why are you not focused on VETHO? It's because the primary focus on this video is on VET. But even besides that point, if you take a look at the VeChain Tor blockchain, the amazing thing about it is that it actually, ever since 2018 has had 0 network outages, which is very impressive, by the way. You take a look at Solana, it has had, at one point, right, 8 different network outages in just a time span of a year. Allegedly, it got fixed, but still, that's very unacceptable. You take a look at VeChain Tor blockchain, you don't see any of that type of nonsense. But yeah, besides that point, when I take a look at VeChain, the partnerships are also A+. So I think it's going to be a project that's going to be around for many decades to come, in my opinion, because if you have partnerships like, for instance, Deloitte, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Walmart China, BMW, H&M, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, and even the government of Cyprus, and there's a lot more, by the way, but if you actually take a look at that, is it a project that's going to be, gone in the next cycle or whatever, after this cycle ends? No, I disagree with that because the way I take a look at it is that if you have a project this amazing, it's going to be around for a very long time, in my opinion. It's not something that's dependent on hype or fans. I think that it's more so dependent on its amazing fundamentals, and I like that. And don't get me wrong, I do love some meme coins out there, I love some fun projects, but I believe that VET, it has to be one of my foundational pieces in my portfolio because I think it's going to be a very amazing and long-term hold, at least personally for me. And not even just like in the long term, I think in the short to medium term, I think hypothetically it's going to be very impressive as well because reaching the price of $1, by the way, that right there is around a 30x from here. And considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $80 billion. Now, some people out there, they may cringe at this because they're like, okay, around a 30x, this is caca, man. But if you actually think about it, it's not that bad, right? If let's say I were to put $1,000 into VET right now, and let's say it were to go to the price of $1, that $1,000 would be worth around 30 grand. Now, here's the thing as well. Some people may think, if it's not like a 100x minimum, that means it's complete trash. But the way I view it is that anything over 10x seems good for me. So I'm not going to be complaining because VET, of course, isn't a micro cap, but it's not a dinosaur either where it's like a BNB or Solana where it can't do like over 20x from where they are as of right now. At least that's the way I view it. So I like this, right? It's not too big, but it's not too small either. Now, not to mention, we also have to take a look at the $80 billion market cap aspect side of this, because some people may think that this market cap is too crazy, but I disagree because, for instance, right, if you take a look at, Dogecoin, that reached over 80 billion, BNB reached over 100 billion. Now, the BNB Smart Chain ecosystem just last year, according to Crypto.com research, had around 2% of the total crypto hacks, actually occur on there, which is kind of crazy to think about because think about how many crypto hacks happened back in 2023. Think about how massive the crypto space is overall. And still, even despite that, around 2% actually happened on the BNB Smart Chain ecosystem. That's unacceptable in my opinion. So if BNB can reach over 100 billion, if Doge can reach over 80 billion, why can't VET at least reach around 80 billion? Now, with that being said, though, some people may think, okay, 80 billion, that's a little bit too crazy because they take a look at the supply chain management market, which VeChain is focused on. They may think, okay, by 2028, again, according to Polaris Market Research, it's predicted to be worth around 58 billion, or should I say over 58 billion. They may think that, okay, how can the market cap of VET exceed the market that, VeChain is focused on? My response is this. Even though I don't think that the market that VeChain is focused on is necessarily the biggest, and also I don't think that, VeChain is going to be the number one player in the grand scheme of things, but even still, despite that, why do I think that $80 billion market cap is realistic even despite this? It's because in the world of cryptocurrencies, yes, it matters, like the market, what they're focused on in the long term, but in the short to medium term, let's say around 6 months to 10 months from right now, people care about this to a certain extent, but what they care about is also hypothetical upside. Once the hype, once the buying pressure, the buying volume is in fifth gear, let's say Bitcoin goes to the price of $150,000, $200,000, sometimes people don't really care about this. Because, for instance, we take a look at Luna Classic, we see that pumped like crazy, that found a bottom, Klima DAO, something Kaka like Litecoin even pumped in 2021 like crazy. If those projects can pump like that, VET, I don't think is, going to do bad. I mean, at this point on, right, what is Luna Classic focused on? I mean, really? Like Litecoin, I mean, don't get me started on that. Caralho, porra. I mean, come on, right? So when I take a look at, sometimes the market that they're focused on, it matters to a certain extent, but sometimes during a fully fledged born, it doesn't really matter. So again, VET at the price of $1, that right there doesn't seem too crazy to me, especially as of right now when you have over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which is more than ever before in history, by the way. I don't think this born is going to be bad. Bitcoin is heading in such a positive direction. You take a look at the Ethereum ETF, the number of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption. I think this born could be so amazing, but around 6 months, let's say to 10 months from right now, I think it could be a totally different story. And of course, not in a bad story way, right? Not in a bad way, of course. I'm talking about a good way because, I think this born could be amazing. But it's just a waiting game. I'm going to be dollar cost averaging. Anytime an income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, I'm just waiting. And I'm still doing that. However, I'm never going to be selling completely because I do believe that VET has a very amazing long-term future. And I do like VeChain, but again, $1 for VET during this born wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Malik the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.